is a Cosmic Octave original podcast.
Me and Jake running down the street with a handful of comic books, kicking ass and banging chicks and drinking booze
No, not
and
me.
smoking
Not
weed.
me. I'm married.
Yeah, well,
I'm married.
Jake.
Can't do that.
Yeah. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.
Hey. Hey, everybody. It's episode 134 of Off Panel, Off Topic. I'm Jake.
I'm Tyler.
That's right, buddy.
We got it.
We finally got it right.
We got it right. I was going to say we effing got it right, but I'm like, hey, let's try and go a little longer without singing and cussing. Which is just like not breathing for me.
Which should be,
Hey,
honestly, Tyler,
Yeah.
if you ever want to write an autobiography, or if you want me to write the biography for you,
Yeah.
I would like it to be titled Singing and Cussing.
Singing and cussing.
That's what I think of when I think of Tyler Allen, is singing and cussing. And you know what? That's part of the show.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it,
Then fuck off. Yeah.
that's right. You know what?
I'll drink your blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking A.
How are you, buddy?
I'm good, man. I went to the dentist today for the first time in 12 years.
So, well,
Anxious about that.
I've been.
You're just going to move right past it and not ask me how it went or anything? Fuck you, dude.
I don't give a shit.
I know you don't.
I'm just being nice.
You know, I don't care if my podcast partner has a mouth or not.
I'm sure we could turn you into an AI.
Thanks, Dick.
Sure, we could figure it out.
Yeah. So how does it feel, Tyler, to be an AI? Kill me.
So I just wanted to get this talk, but we tweeted about it already. And we're recording this on Wednesday. I'm recording the first episode, hopefully tomorrow night on Thursday.
I retweeted that.
It's true. He did do it. Halo.
What is it? At Sparkles what?
Sparks Elemental.
Where's my follow, Sparks Elemental?
What the F? The show is called Halo PODST. We're going to be talking about the Halo Paramount Plus show.
Can I ask why it's called that?
PDOST. Because there
ST?
was a Halo 3 ODST. It was a very popular add-on. So I was like, ooh, PODST.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's pretty stacked.
Yeah, that'll be going up every week as the shows release. So I've been...
More content is always a good thing.
Our first episode is going to be a recap of season 1.
Mhm.
And I am neck deep in that right now.
Wow.
And I got a couple episodes I need to finish. And it's such an interesting show because I reviewed it on our YouTube channel when it was coming out.
Yep.
And I had a
season.
fun thing of I went back and I chopped together minute and a half clips, and I was maybe going to make a supercut or do something with it.
Yeah.
But when I was going back looking at my opinions, I'm like, I don't think this is going to change very much.
Yeah.
And I think some things have changed. And I think my co-hosts and I are going to kind of be in a similar thing where we're not as harsh on it as we originally were. But man, that show is such a slog because usually
I haven't checked it out. I also don't have any connection to the video game whatsoever.
And I think I even said this last season, where most of the time I'm saying there should be 1 or 2 extra episodes more than what there are. And reality, this could use 2 less episodes.
How many episodes is it a season?
The first season's 9. This next season's going to be 8. So
In 1 hour?
yeah, roughly.
55, 57 minutes.
The shortest episode, one of the best episodes, was 39 minutes. And I was like, there could have been more of that episode, but whatever.
Yeah, how do they make that decision? I don't. My thing is that almost all of these shows are being made in a bubble. All right,
Yeah.
they're not being made in regards to a televised schedule. In regards to ad times and all that bullshit,
Yeah.
they're
They
getting
are
ads
made in a
before
vacuum,
the
yeah.
show. Yes. So why, can I ask, are there times when why did you not make this show longer or this episode longer, but you made this one really long? Or why are you doing this many episodes instead of that many? Is it budgetary concerns?
Well,
Is
the first
it-
season cost $100 million. So I can only imagine how much this season costs.
How much was it?
Because this is
Was Pablo's?
I don't know. I think a lot of it
50 million,
is just the
'cause he's such an amazing actor.
the
He was in The Wire.
CG.
Do you know that he was in The Wire?
He's also on American Gods.
He was also in The Wire.
I know. He's also in
Best
the
season, season
one
2.
season show, The Brink. That was really good.
Oh,
He's
I think I remember reading about
he's
that.
pretty funny in that.
This little guy, I don't know, makes me bored.
See, that's another thing too. I have mixed feelings about the show because on one hand, I'm like, this doesn't seem like. There's times where I'm like, this doesn't feel like the Master Chief that I would have expected.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not even talking about the helmet thing. I'm just saying character thing. There were some interesting choices, but then the thing that I said in the previous season, and when I'm seeing them repeat again this season, is you have to understand that these are two different genres. They're still Master Chief, but they're two different versions of Master Chief because the show has to be a certain Master Chief. Because when you're playing the video games, the idea is he doesn't take his helmet off. Yes, he talks. He has a character, but the idea is it's you. You are Master Chief.
Yeah.
Whereas the show is trying to be like, this is who we can kind of go deeper
This
into
is
the
a
character.
guy.
But they've made some comments that I think, for one, it's a new creative team.
For the second season?
Yeah. And
Why?
Because they went in a different direction. I
Okay.
think they're finding out this first season didn't work out because the first season had moments where it felt like Halo, but it just felt like it was the first episode. And I'll get more into it when we do the actual podcast. I'm just realizing I'm like, maybe I should say this for that show. But just to wrap things up, the first episode is really solid. And my co-host pointed this out when we were taking notes talking about it. It feels like that was a proof of concept. And then they had to make a show around it, is what he said.
Yeah.
And that's really what it feels like.
Mhm.
He was pretty spot on that, where it was... I was like, that was such a and I texted him while I was watching, like, it's such a promising start, and then it takes such a fall. Like, that first episode is okay, pretty good. The first 20 minutes are great. I've been watching through it. Episode 5, I remember it stood out to me because that was an episode that was mostly when we actually got to see Master Chief and the Spartans do Master Chief Halo shit.
Yeah.
It was fun. Like, there's a fucking part where he has a gun. He hits the alien, the Covenant dude. I think it's a Jackal. He hits it, takes the gun, flips it back, like, trips it, like, flips him over. And as he's falling down, he just doesn't even look, puts the gun behind his back, pops the thing in the head, and kills it. Like, there's shit like that where it's awesome. He's just beating the fuck out of these aliens. And it's awesome. And I was like, why didn't you just do that? There's so much other shit, and I'll talk about it more in the podcast.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
That's a different show, motherfucker.
Sorry.
Come on.
Sorry. But
Bullshit. You know what? We're
But
gonna
I don't wanna bury
do
the
the
lead.
Book of Boba Fett treatment, and I'm gonna get on your podcast this week for about 10 minutes and talk about my music, asshole. That's what we're gonna fucking do.
wow, you just asked, man. Sorry,
You could've
but
just
but
asked,
yes,
and I'll let
that
you
that
on,
will
no
be coming
problem.
up. That was just kind of a tidbit of kind of the thoughts I had about it.
So, how many episodes is it in already this season, or is it?
Season 2 will be starting next week, next Thursday.
Okay. So you're starting the podcast.
Yeah, so we're putting the first one out this Friday
I like it.
and have that out, season 1 recap, and then we'll
Little
get into season
recap,
2.
little refresher.
They
get
are
you back into
releasing
it.
the first 2 episodes of season 2 on February 8th. So I'm actually going in with an open mind because there is a new creative team. They're talking more about trying to
Have you seen the previews?
go more into the lore.
Or
Yeah,
the
I've seen it.
trailers? What do you think?
It's interesting. I think it's kind of weird how they're going to do the Fall of Reach because the
What's-
Fall of Reach, if I remember correctly, Halo Reach was a prequel to the original Halo games. So Master Chief wasn't a part of the Fall of Reach. If I could be
But
completely
he's in it.
I'm working on it right now because I'm doing research for the other show. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that the Fall of Reach doesn't have Master Chief in it in the game. So that's one deviation already. But I could be wrong. I'll look into that more. I want to make sure I got that right.
Did you like how I got mad about you talking about that during our show, and then I asked you more questions about it?
I know. So let's
Hey,
get
tell
into
us
the news.
more while you're trying to stop talking about it. Please talk about it more
plugging your show.
and plug it some more.
Well, I was putting things
I'm
up.
just kidding.
First bit of
Oh,
news.
were ya?
I want to jump into this because
Mr. Producer.
this is some serious stuff that we're talking about. Ben Shapiro is officially a rap artist.
I know. And
We have
so-
reached peak
so can I-
humanity.
can
we
I-
have failed.
Can I this is interesting because the way I found this out, because I'm not doing politics on Twitter and stuff, but a bunch of my online folks, whatever, like posted this shit. And it's really funny to me. And first of all, the other guy's name is Tom McDonald. That's a nice rap name. And then you told me that's just his name, which is lame. And then he's also Canadian?
Yeah. But he loves acting like he's an American.
What a dildo. Just a giant
by the way,
fucking dildo.
You can love America and be Canadian.
Yeah.
But when you have lyrics in the song where you say, where are all the American flags at?
Yeah.
Remember when
Well,
those were
it's because
flown?
you're in Toronto, motherfucker.
And then the next breath being like, instead of the American... Where are
It's
the
because
American...
you're in Quebec City.
You're missing the lyric. This is important.
Tell us.
Because he says, where are all the American flags at? Remember when those were flown? Now they've been replaced with BLM and rainbows.
That doesn't even make any sense. Well,
Flags.
I
think he says BLM flags, but
Okay.
who cares?
Who
Either way,
cares?
it's stupid.
Yeah.
So yeah, this past week, Ben Shapiro
Yeah, this is terrible.
was featured on a rap song. This song is called Facts.
I know.
And it was released by anti-woke rapper Tom McDonald. Now, before we get into the Ben Shapiro clip, two things I want to point out.
So he's a rapper now, but you told me...
Yeah, he's in the past said that rap isn't real music. And
Right.
It's crap.
But
and-
whatever, I mean, I guess,
Because he was
right?
classically trained violinist. So
Shit.
I think his dad is a composer, too, so he's a fucking pompous music guy. His sister's an opera singer, too. They got a weird musical family, the Shapiros.
Oh, what?
Yeah, not Tom McDonald.
Oh.
That was all Ben Shapiro. He went to Harvard, played the violin. His sister, is an opera singer.
Anyway.
Or used to be. I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, Tom McDonald. The guy that he's, the song that he's featured on with.
Yes.
Tom McDonald, this is his career kind of retrospective. So
Let's do this.
I want to give you
Let's
some,
fucking do
set the
this.
scene.
Mm.
Tom McDonald started rapping at the age of 18. And
When did he say
he rose-
rap wasn't real music? Oh,
Ben
is that-
Shapiro?
Oh, yeah, he
Right,
said
I
it. Never
think,
mind. I forgot. I confused it. Anyway, go ahead. Rapping
So
at the age of 18.
his first hit song was Dear Rappers. That was released in February 2018. His song Straight White Male, which was written by McDonald's belief that straight white men are being demonized. I got some criticisms, but he wrote that song as well. I just want to keep pointing this out because this guy,
Straight
by the way,
white male.
because I'm dedicated, I listened to the whole fucking song.
Thanks,
right?
man.
All 3.5 minutes of
I
it.
appreciate you.
And this guy, I don't understand. He just seems like he raps about the same shit in every song. And I'm like, I guess you can just make a career bitching about the same stuff. At one point, he has a breakdown in the song where he's talking about other people being the victim. When he writes songs about called Straight White Male, when he says white men are being demonized.
Mm-hmm.
No, they're not.
Mm-mm.
If you feel that white people are being demonized, think about it. Just think about it before you make a rap song about it.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty easy.
And one other line in this song, he says, if all white people are bigots, then all Muslims are terrorists.
Well,
It's like, nobody is saying that all white people are bigots.
Yeah.
You're just hearing that for a reason.
Yeah, because you are.
Now, I'm not saying
And you also
he's racist or whatever. I don't think he is. I don't know if he is. That's not the point. The point is, the man talks about other people being
He's
the
a
victim,
nu-
but makes a career off being a
Yeah.
fake victim.
Well, he's a
with
knucklehead.
this culture war shit.
He's a knucklehead who decided to get involved in a conversation that nobody asked him to be a part of
The pop culture
whatsoever.
The
But
pop
Ben Shapiro was like, "Hey,
this whole culture war, which in reality you could argue we could even, coin it right here. Pop culture war. That is this idea that you're being silenced. Meanwhile, you have a couple of your songs, different songs, make a lot of money for you. Some of them hit Billboard charts. Like, you are not being silenced in any way.
mm-hmm. Yeah, no,
And good for you. You're doing it independently. So, again, it goes back to stop saying bullshit about being a victim. Like, you hate victims, but you're being a victim, pretending to be a
Yeah.
victim.
exactly.
You're still making money. Nobody's silencing you.
No, you're able
At
to
all.
fucking post your shit on YouTube for all the shitty fucking humans
Yeah.
that want to fucking consume it, and there are plenty of them.
A couple more things. In September 2019, McDonald released a song called Clone Rappers, on which he rapped that the Illuminati are cloning rappers and disposing of the originals. Cool. He's like, he just went for all of it, man. He's like, I'm gonna be, and I'm not, okay. In 2020, I can't even continue. He released 20 singles in 2020, including White Trash, Sellout, Best Rapper Ever, Cancer, and Angels. And then March 2020, he released the single Coronavirus to cash in on the pandemic money.
Of course.
Yeah. So anyway, Ben Shapiro, who said years ago that he hates rap and it's not real music and it's stupid, he is featured.
Well, he's wrong.
Tom McDonald, man.
But this song is not music.
He's like, I'm going to go big. I'm going to go with the biggest name I can get in the right
The biggest, douchiest
griftosphere, and I'm going for Ben Shapiro.
Man, landed it. Nice job,
Heavy
Tom
hitter.
McDonald, you fucking douche.
So here's this next 26 seconds. It's 26 seconds, so I think we'll be fine on copyright. I'm just gonna play.
Yeah, that would suck,
Ben
right?
If they we probably will get copyright claim. I don't fucking
just
care.
cause.
It's not gonna get monetized anyway.
Yeah.
So here's Ben Shapiro's bit in the song.
How long is it? Or
26 seconds.
No, that's all of it. His part.
And yeah, the song itself is like 3.5 minutes. So very briefly.
I've seen clips of the video.
Yes.
And he's in the video a lot.
He's just dancing in the background. He's just standing there being Ben Shapiro in a hoodie. That has a hoodie that says facts, but it's like the Dare font. And then underneath it says, don't care about your feelings. It's even...
That doesn't work because it... Like, we were going to make Dare shirts, but it was going to be underneath dumb assholes ruin everything. Or drugs are really entertaining. Because it fits D-A-R-E. Do you know what a fucking... Yeah.
Anyway, here's Ben Shapiro.
Oh, God.
You ready?
Yes.
I don't think you're ready. Have you heard it yet?
No, I avoided listening to it.
I hear it in my
as much
sleep,
as-
man. It haunts me.
I'm so sorry.
Let's look at the stats. I've got the facts. My money like Liz, my pockets are fat. Homie, I'm epic. Don't be a whap. Dog, it's a yarmulke. Homie, no cap. Look at the graphs. Look at my charts. You're blowing.
By the way, at this point, he's pretty much said wet pussies are lame because he says don't be a whap.
Yeah.
You would want a whap. You want a wet ass pussy, Ben. You know what the
Who
weird
helped you write that?
of
'Cause
all
you
the
didn't write that.
rivalries in the history of the world, who would have thought it'd be Ben Shapiro against a wet pussy?
Money on strippers and cars. You go into prison. I'm on television. Dogs, no one knows who you are.
Okay.
Keep hating on me on the internet. My comment section all woke Karens. And I make racks off compound interest. Y'all live with your parents. Nikki, take some notes. I just did this for fun. All my people, download this. Let's get a Billboard #1.
He sounds...
Did he try
they-
dissing Nicki Minaj?
Yeah. Nikki, take some notes.
What is your problem, dude? Are you... Nicki Minaj has achieved a level in the rap game and music and entertainment industry that... okay, I wouldn't say she's untouchable, but she's kind of like legendary at this point. You know what I mean? What are you doing, man? I mean, I guess if that's how you're trying to get clicks, but I really hope that Nicki Minaj has not responded at all. Like, I don't give a fuck because you're an idiot. But what is your deal, man? Like, what?
It
I
did.
don't-
By the way, Ben Shapiro, he does have some fans because I think it got to like #1 on iTunes. But
Oh my god!
keep in mind,
for how long? 10 minutes?
it's iTunes.
Yeah.
So I mean,
For
what does
how
that
long?
really mean?
I don't even know.
Yeah. As
I
we'll,
mean-
get, we'll get to later in the show. We
I
don't
don't
really know how this compensation shit works, but
Oh yeah, we will because we're having issues
yeah.
with DistroKid and shit too now.
oh wow,
Mm.
they just charged me. So these bastards.
I made it up to $20. 2103.
Well, look at you.
Look at me.
Look at you.
100,000 streams. No, I'm just kidding.
But we live in a world now, 2024. We are, as we're recording this is the last day. We are 31 days into this year, and we had to hear Ben Shapiro be a goddamn rapper. Ugh.
This is how this year's gonna go.
Yeah. There's people that are eating it up. Now,
Of course.
like, look, I don't think it's very good. I'm sure how somebody could see it being good. but I don't find his raps very good. And
I think, listen, if you're going to...
art is subjective, Tyler, and there might be some lunatic out there that thinks that's good.
I think if you are a trained musician like he is, then you probably have a rhythm of some sort.
Yeah, he had a flow.
I'm willing to bet. I'm hoping somebody else wrote that for you and thought it was a joke to tell you to say don't be a wet ass pussy.
No, that was all him. Tom McDonald insists that Ben Shapiro.
Well, then you
did all
don't know what you're talking about, and you shouldn't be writing or rapping.
The whole thing made me just say,
What?
you know?
I was the same way, but in a different what?
Well, would you say it was more like,
What?
Yeah, more like that.
and you're like, Ben, you think you could be a rapper?
I could write a book about what you don't know.
That's one of my raps.
Yeah, dude. I grew up with Run DMC, man.
But it
De La Soul.
what a weird timeline to be in, man. I think of the idea of this vastness of a multiverse. And I had to think, what did I have to do? What choice did I make that I have to be in the universe where Ben Shapiro
I don't know. Yeah,
on a rap
did I
track?
kill a magic squirrel at some point? And I don't kill squirrels.
I just watched
just
everything.
like accidentally, like driving over it. Or did I do that? Is that what I did to get in this timeline? Because I'm glad you're here. But this timeline sucks. Blows.
I just recently watched Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, like, what's that minor choice that made me end
Hey,
up
don't
in this
spoil it.
universe? No. It's good. You should see it.
Yeah. Well, you kind of spoiled it.
I didn't spoil anything.
Yeah, you kind of did.
Did I?
Kind of, a little bit.
A little bit.
Let me just stand over here so it sounds like I'm shouting from across the room.
You little bitch.
I don't like it one bit.
Oh.
Turn off your phone.
Hey, turn it up now. Turn it up.
Turn
now.
off your phone. All right, let me move closer to the mic from over in the other side. Of the room.
All right.
Now turn it off.
Tyler, we got some news. Some DCU news.
My pants are tight.
Okay. So we have some information on what is kicking off the DCU. It's not Superman Legacy. If you remember,
Right.
it's the animated show Creature Commandos.
Okay. And when are we getting this?
Still no actual confirmation.
Come on!
It's coming this year, but we
Really?
don't have it's. But the way they said late 24, so we'll see. But yeah,
right.
so
That's fine.
they asked James Gunn why that choice was made. Why is Creature Commandos going to be before Superman Legacy?
Did the person who asked that were they not aware of James Gunn's career at all? Is that why they asked?
Yeah, well,
Hey, why would you do a horror commando group as cartoons?
well, I would just want to say
have you
never
fucking seen the movie.
It's very similar to Guardians of the
How do you fucking
Galaxy,
not know this shit?
where I had not known anything about Creature Commandos.
I believe it was one of the New 52 books, or it was before that, and I'm pretty sure Grant Morrison wrote some of
because the
it.
premise of it was going to be monsters fight Nazis in World War II. That's really kind of
Yeah, they were like a creature. Yeah,
That's
there
the
was a
elevator
Frankenstein, and there was a
pitch.
Miss Frankenstein, and there was a Dracula. Actually, I have no idea. I read one of the comic books. My brother had it.
Yeah, but yeah. So really, it was like werewolves and vampires fighting Nazis, and kind of a weird horror style DC book. But the reason why it's going to be before Superman Legacy, James Gunn said it was written and ready to go, and we thought it worked well as an aperitif or appetizer, before the meal that is Superman Legacy.
I don't appreciate French. I'm just kidding.
That's track one.
That's strike one. No. I totally get it, but I prefer the term amuse-bouche instead of aperitif.
You sound like a moose douche to me.
Yeah, I used to work in a French bistro, motherfucker.
I want that whole exchange to be one drop. Because what was that? I used to work at a French bistro, motherfucker. Anyway, What do we think?
I had to
what do we-
prepare the amuse-bouche. The head chef
So
would
what
be
do-
like, this is the thing.
What do we think
Here's
about?
a little fucking plastic spoon.
Two things I also want to say.
Uh,
What do we think about this idea of like, okay, this is like an like, do you really think this will be this is going to be the tone
animated
of the
show-
DCU?
Okay, animated shows. I think here. I think James Gunn's career and his work is marked by otherworldly, really fucked up shit combined with
He's known for
really-
doing misfits.
really incredible heart. And, you combine those two things. I think every movie, everything that I've seen that he's done, you see that, like, incredible, just out of this world, like, what the fuck is that? But then there's so much relatability to it because of the soul that's in the work. So I think Creature Commandos is a great start because it is fucking out of this world. You have a fucking Frankenstein and shit, like with machine guns fighting Nazis and stuff. But also there's going to be moments of deep relatability of human connection, of, what it means to be human, what it means to connect with other humans and communicate and engage with them. And that's kind of the entire, that's his MO. So I'm all for it, man. Cartoons can be done really, really well, and we've seen that cartoons have progressed into a lot of really cool shit.
I think they look at.
I think this looks good, or I haven't seen anything about it, but it sounds good.
I think it was always conceptualized to be animated as well.
Sure,
I think
it's probably cheaper to animate it.
Yeah, because
Shit.
that's what he said.
No sets.
James Gunn said the reason we did it this way is because we wanted to make it as big and crazy and awesome as we wanted.
Yeah, no
but
sets, dude.
We didn't have to spend $50 million.
That's automatically you're losing that money.
And I think they look at
Just for a
how
second.
much of a success Invincible has been for Amazon, and they're
Yeah.
like, okay, like, yes. I think we're getting to a point where more and more of these bigger companies are finally understanding that animation doesn't have to be just for kids.
No.
And there are still plenty of people
I thought
like
Heavy Metal proved that, you guys.
there are plenty of people like me who and you as well that enjoy animation and enjoy adult animation and
Akira, A Scanner Darkly.
and I want to see more and we're seeing on a broad scale of different things with like Spider-Verse and TMNT,
Mm-hmm.
and you're seeing those things being pushed, but you're also seeing that with these adult stories. And again, I bring up Invincible because that show looks incredible.
Yeah.
And I think this could be a really fun introduction into what's going. I mean, like, there's already interconnectivity where Weasel's coming back.
Yeah.
So Weasel is in Suicide Squad and in Creature Commandos for some reason. Okay,
Cool.
fine.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Did he survive?
because if you remember in the post
forgot.
credits, he makes it on shore, but and
Weasel.
and that's something I want to see with Creature Commandos. I think we're gonna go. I think it's gonna be a hard R. I think there's gonna be some.
That's fine.
It's monsters and
Did you ever see the
Nazis.
Spawn show?
Yes.
Okay, so
Todd McFarlane had.
Yeah. There was also a show back in the 90s. MTV had like a thing called Liquid Television, and that's actually spawned a couple of shows. One was
on
The
MTV,
Amazing Head.
The Max.
The Max, The Amazing Head, I think was the name. He had a gigantic head. I can't remember the other shows, but they had a lot of really cool shows, and those weren't hard R. Spawn was the first one that was really like, I mean, we're gonna like.
Did you hear that they're making a live action adaptation of The Max? I think.
No, what?
How are they gonna do that?
Who and why?
I don't know. I'm looking it
Anyway.
up because I'm pretty sure I saw that. But, I'm excited for this. A couple other notes. It's 7 episodes. James Gunn wrote every episode. Channing Tatum was rumored to be the Max. It's supposed to be a film adaptation at Paramount. What the fuck are you doing, Paramount?
What are you doing, Channing? I fucking love Gambit and the Max. Why? Those are-
You see those and you're just like,
yes.
I want more. But Tyler's like,
Ew, fuck you.
yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
How that'll shake out because I don't know how you adapt the max. But back to Creature Commandos.
Oh yeah.
I want to just point out the cast because the cast seems interesting. Because keep in mind, there's a chance that these characters could be portrayed by these actors in live action.
Heard. Cool.
So Frank Grillo, who played Crossbones
Yep.
in the Captain America movies.
He's been a bunch of
He's also
shit.
in the Purge movies.
Yep.
He will be Rick Flag Sr.,
Okay.
leader of the Creature Commandos and father of Rick Flag.
Cool.
Maria Baklava will be Princess Alana Rostovic. Indira Varma will be the Bride of Frankenstein. Zoe Chow portrays Nina Mazursky.
Okay.
I could be butchering these names. It's a scientist that is like kind of an amphibian.
Okay.
Alan Tudyk will be Dr. Phosphorus.
We know him.
Yeah, permanently radioactive.
Cool.
David Harbour will be Eric Frankenstein, the love interest of the Bride of Frankenstein. So it should be an interesting show, interesting cast.
I love how the Bride of Frankenstein is her name.
Yeah.
And
His name is Eric
Frankenstein, and yet they're a love interest. Like that sounds like a lot of fodder for comedy, and I'm all for it.
I think it's gonna be.
That
like
sounds awesome.
It to me, it goes back to his horror roots. It goes back to his trauma roots, and I think it's gonna be a really gory, silly, crazy show.
Fucking do it, man.
And he's already shown he can do it with Peacemaker, which was another crazy show that was awesome.
Is that ever gonna come back?
Yeah.
No.
Yes, it is coming back. I don't know when they haven't. Well, because I don't know if you heard this, but a couple of other things from the DCU stuff. Superman Legacy starts filming in March.
Okay.
We also find out that Supergirl's been cast, which is Molly Alcock, which is she played Rhaenyra. She was in House of the Dragons. She played I think it's Rhaenyra Targaryen, the main she was the female lead. So they had time jumps. So she was like the teenage version or the younger version. So they're going to have a younger. Is it Kara El?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're going to do the Woman of Tomorrow storyline with Tom King. So
Cool.
interesting stuff.
Cool.
I am getting excited about now that Aquaman's done and that's like all that's out of the way.
We still never saw that.
Now
What were the reviews like?
Mixed, I think, like everything else in the DCEU.
Did it bomb?
I watched parts of Dakota Johnson hosting SNL, and she mentioned Madam Web, and she's like, "It's me and Sydney Sweeney, so it's like your boyfriend's AI generated movie," and I'm like, they're really leaning into that horny marketing, aren't they?
I guess.
Right? I mean, I get it. There are attractive women in this movie, but it's not enough to get me to go see a movie about Madam Web. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do it. If we did, like, if some person was like, here's $20, go see this movie.
Donated.
Yes. Donate. No, I'm not kidding. I'm not asking for.
No,
do not spend your money on this movie, even as a joke.
No.
All right.
No.
Another bit of news.
Yep.
I wanted to talk about the Disney Plus show, Echo.
Okay. Did you finally watch it?
Yeah, we did a review.
What are we talking about now?
Well, I just want to talk about the budget because that came out, and I thought that was interesting. For one, it did really well.
Yeah.
Because it was Marvel. I think getting back to that adult Netflix roots, and it makes me wonder what the fuck they were doing with that Born Again show, because they showed a set photo of Deborah Ann Wool, who is
Karen Page.
Karen Page, yeah, and Foggy, with Charlie Cox, and it's like they weren't in that originally, and I was like, what would that show have been? Because those three are so crucial to that story, you know what I mean? And I think we're finally seeing that with Echo. We're seeing that with Daredevil. And we're seeing something that I think is important. The budget. $40 million to make that show. $40 million. That's all it took.
Huh. It's pretty good.
And there's not a lot of visual effects in that show.
No.
Just at the end, that's really about it. There's a couple of visual effect shots here and there, but for the most part, it's a pretty straightforward.
They pretty much blew the budget on that opening.
Yeah, and the flashback sequences.
Yeah.
Because all the action is choreographed. It's
And
not
it was good.
fighting CG monsters and CGI powers.
It was just fighting.
It's just fighting. And it was made with $40 million. This is a comparison because this is one of the few times.
WandaVision was $170 billion.
This is one of the
Adjusted
few
for
times
today's
where
inflation.
I've seen a recent Marvel story about a budget that was a good thing.
Yeah.
So $40 million to make Echo. In comparison, Hawkeye was $150 million.
Jesus.
She-Hulk, we already talked about this.
Yeah,
$225 million. These are just Disney Plus shows, by the way,
Well, She-Hulk.
which are big movie budgets.
Here's
We're throwing
right,
at TV shows.
But here's the issue with She-Hulk to me is that She-Hulk doesn't work, I don't think, as a movie as well as a TV show.
Yeah.
I think the serialized format of a TV show allows more of that break the fourth wall type of wink at the audience type shit.
Yeah.
I think it allows for that more than a movie would. The problem is that you have to spend that much money to make a She-Hulk show unless you want to just say fuck it and animate it.
Yeah.
Until she's in the movies. Maybe. Hey, Marvel.
Miss Marvel.
Feige.
Miss
We're
Marvel?
open. We're ready to get hired. What?
Miss Marvel, $150 million. WandaVision, $225 million.
Jesus, WandaVision.
Um,
Loki. Shit.
that was also 9 episodes. So
Loki
and
season
they
2. Loki
Moon Knight,
season 2.
Moon Knight,
Yeah.
$147.9 million.
Eh.
Secret Invasion, which was their biggest waste of money, $212 million.
$112 million of
And-
that went to the AI fucker who fucking made the AI fucking opening.
Loki season
Ella.
1 and season 2, $150 to $141 million.
I don't believe that for
And
a
the Falcon and the Winter Soldier was $150 million.
Okay.
And I think the lesson could be learned here, and this could be why Hollywood is hurting as a whole. People want to blame the actors wanting more pay
It
and all
has
this other
nothing
shit.
to do with the late stage capitalism, does it? No.
No, because
Gotta be something else.
it has to be the fact that when you balloon your movies to be, and now your TV shows too, when you balloon these projects to be $250 million behemoths, you have to have gigantic opening weekends or hope that your movie has some sort of staying power where it hasn't been spoiled and there hasn't been a million different podcasts talking about it, because you got to get it like in the first week.
Pretty much.
And that's nothing against what we do and what other shows do. I'm just saying
It's the nature of the beast
that's
now.
the nature of the beast.
If you don't have, honestly, whatever you get in that first week, Hollywood, is what you're probably going to get. Mostly.
and
It's rare when something like takes off, like
fucking
say
Top Gun Maverick when it made all that money because it was in the theater for like almost 2-3 months.
right, but that's rare.
Exactly. That's an outlier. You have to get a pretty you don't have to have a, depending on your budget, right? But if you are a medium-sized movie, you just need 2 good weekends. You could probably make your money back.
Right.
But these, you have to get hundreds of millions of dollars in your first 2 weekends.
Maverick also worked by a lot in the first couple weeks
And it was a holiday.
by word of mouth.
And it was a 3-day weekend for that too.
By word of mouth,
This
because
is
other people were
Memorial Day.
telling people like, you got to go see this, and that's something that doesn't happen every day either. Like where somebody sees a movie and is like, everybody I know has to hear about this.
But,
It was so good.
there's still movies that pop off on
Sure.
Twitter and catch my eye. Like I didn't know about Godzilla -1 until that Twitter. So I saw that like people posting about it, seeing it when it was like starting
Right.
to pop up screenings. I was like, oh shit, I kind of want to see this. So yeah, that does still exist, but you're right. It only exists to a certain extent. Like you have to, because of the nature of the beast, because of how this all works now. Yeah, you have to. We've talked about it before. You're fighting for my time.
Yeah.
You're fighting for my attention. So you
Yes.
have to dominate the conversation for a couple days.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think, the Super Bowl is a 2-week thing?
Yeah.
Because they have to have a week's worth of build-up to get people interested and excited about it because they got to get as many people to watch it. And it's just that it's how movies...
Where are we headed?
It's how it all works. And
sucks because I still love movies.
I do too, and I love some aspects of going to the theater. I still love seeing it on a big screen.
I love the whole. I mean, it's gotten like way cooler than it was when I was a kid. I mean, now they got like stadium seating and those lounger things and popcorn and shit.
I want to say positively, I hope that Echo is a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
And I think that is them, because we talked about how they had that big reset.
Yeah.
And they had that big reset on Daredevil. They had all this stuff. We're changing direction. We're going to start, treating them as TV shows and not whatever the fuck they were, which you want to hear an interesting, like one of these days, if I have time, I want to make a super cut of my optimism and how fast it drained from the MCU Disney Plus projects, because it had so much potential and it just,
well, I remember, God, I'd have to go back and listen. Yeah.
But
because I'm sure, like, even like WandaVision, we were like, "Oh man, episode 1."
I really
bro.
liked WandaVision pretty consistently, but there's still some choices, and the ending was kind of like, okay.
Generally, it was like, holy crap, this is great every week.
Yeah.
Every week it was like
Moon Knight. We turned
happening?
on that show real fast.
Well, because it.
I didn't even bother with Secret Invasion.
Hey, let's bring back the coolest aspect of his personality to kill the greatest, one of the better villains that the Marvel MCU has ever had.
Show anything when he beats up people. The gimmick was cute once. Anyway, Again,
Next week.
I hope it's a trend. I hope Daredevil is on a modest budget and it does really well, and we see more of that.
His costume in the Echo show was I'm sorry. That Flash costume that we were watching that last weekend.
Yeah,
fucking weird. What was up with that? A lot of nylon. All right, next topic. On off-panel, off-topic.
Are you done?
No.
You know what, man?
No, I'm not done. What?
You sound like
real fucked up, kind of bizarre combination of monkey shit.
I don't fucking appreciate that at all. Okay.
So you brought this to my attention.
I did because,
This is the next topic.
Mm-hmm.
So TikTok, it's an app.
Mm-hmm.
It's a thing that we use.
I haven't used it and I need to. It's stupid.
I've been doing some work.
This is when I need to get my music out there, because fucking TikTok people are going to be like, where do we get music? The Amazing T-Bird. I'm here to rescue you from Universal taking it all away. But explain the TikTok.
Well, first I have to explain.
Having sex with him.
Okay.
We had to find a way to put that drop in somewhere.
I love that drop.
It's only we like that drop. I feel like most people don't.
What a way to censor fucking.
Having sex with him.
I guess if you want to be clinical. Anyway.
So Universal Music Group.
Okay, doctor.
And this could change by the time this gets posted. But they're in a weird. I don't even want to say lawsuit. It's just a dispute over compensation.
Yes.
With TikTok. So UMG seemingly is going to pull their music from being able to use it on
UMG is Universal Musical Group.
Yes.
Music Group. Sorry.
And I read a new NBC News article about it. And NBC News told me it's not tied to NBC Universal. So they made that disclaimer in there. Okay. So anyway, Universal Music Group
different animal.
Is pretty much going to take their music off TikTok, so you can't use their music on your videos.
Okay.
The reasoning was UMG said that TikTok proposed paying our artists and songwriters at a rate that is a fraction of the rate that similarly situated major social platforms pay.
So basically the way I get paid on fucking Spotify, huh?
Yes. It continues an interesting... We've talked a lot. I'm glad you brought this topic up.
I'm convinced Tipalti, because you look at your bank on DistroKid and it's like minus Tipalti fees. I'm convinced Tipalti is just like some cokehead.
That's some just guy
who just every once in a while like, I need money for coke, and just takes it. He sounds
like he'd be the agent of like New York Giants quarterback Tommy DeVito.
Tipalti, I need some coke.
Tipalti, where's the money?
Hey, Tipalti,
I'm getting the DistroKid cash.
I need some coke.
I need some gabagool.
Which is capricola, I learned. Next topic.
The Sopranos.
On off turtle. No. We're back.
So yeah, and they're talking about other platforms. I'm assuming they're talking about YouTube Shorts. You can put music on there.
Probably.
And just other places like Twitter.
Where
Where
did they get the idea for Shorts?
It's almost weird. It's almost like
So
all these
weird. It's
apps
almost
are
like
the same
YouTube
thing.
is like, oh my god,
You know how many times
we're scared.
You know how many times I was on the YouTube app scrolling through the shorts thinking I was on TikTok and then realizing I wasn't on TikTok, and I was very confused by it because they all look the same and I'm old. So anyway, UMG also continued. They wrote an open letter about this whole situation with TikTok. Just a couple things. Ultimately, TikTok is trying to build a music-based business without paying fair value for the music.
Kind of like Spotify.
As our negotiations continued, TikTok attempted to bully us into accepting a deal worth less than the previous deal, far less than fair market value and not reflective of their exponential growth. I'm shocked. I'm really shocked, and I hate to be that guy and be political, but I'm shocked that two giant companies would be fighting each other over compensation.
Wow. Meanwhile, down in the state of Iowa, probably about 10,000 kids are not eating tonight.
Wait, you're not making... Look, on one hand,
What's more important?
Here's the complication of this. I want to applaud UMG on one hand for saying, hey, you're not paying our artists enough.
Sure.
But at the same time, it's hilarious to me that they're complaining about something like this, like these corporations. And I'm not saying UMG themselves are guilty of this.
No.
But how many times do we see this and we're just okay with it? It doesn't match their exponential growth. It's not reflective. Yeah, we know. Artists have been saying, especially the smaller ones, have been saying for a long time that these companies fuck artists.
Yes.
It's great to get exposure and numbers help and all that shit.
I am learning quickly and kind of tough that Spotify is not my friend.
You know how many streams...
Being able to put shit on Spotify is actually not that great of a fucking deal.
You know how many streams you have to get to make any more... say you rented a studio and you recorded an album at a professional studio, which, I don't know, depending on where you're at, probably, what, $2,000-$3,000, right? You do that, you record it, you produce it, it's mastered, it gets everything only in one day. That's all you can afford.
Oh, yeah.
Right? No, I'm just saying. But just say you do that. You get that money. You know how many downloads or streams you would have to get to even cover that? You would hundreds of thousands. You get a couple hundred, you're getting what, like $10? You know what I mean? And
well, I mean, it makes sense that the pool is not it's largely a static pool of money every month that Spotify has to draw from to pay the artists that are on the fucking platform for free. Now, DistroKid, I know, pays money to Spotify to get my shit onto Spotify.
You pay their licensing.
I pay DistroKid. DistroKid pays Spotify. Yeah, but
if you make music, you have to.
There's
go
other
through
revenue
licensing.
streams. There's other revenue streams
To be
from
on Spotify.
Spotify. If you don't have premium, you have to listen to ads. Blah blah blah. But listen, it makes sense because it's a static pool. You got it doesn't change. It doesn't get bigger or smaller that much. So, how many artists every month join Spotify? How many of them are actually paying for the premium like I do? How many of I mean, when you think about it, no, there's not a lot of money to go around, especially if they're keeping the lion's share. Then we're not going to have, if you have 5 cookies to spread around 200,000 people, that's not very much cookie for everybody.
And you have to think about that too.
And meanwhile, the guy with the cookies has 4 boxes. What the fuck?
And
man?
there's a reason for that, and I understand it. There's a certain reason when you're something like when you reach the level of a platform of a TikTok,
yes,
or a YouTube or Spotify or something like that. I understand that there is some level of that's like you were just talking about. That's a lot of money to go out for licensing every artist, because it's such a big platform and so many people use it. And then you kind of build this weird economy where it's like, well, I want as an artist that's a smaller artist, you want your music to be everywhere it can be. So you want it to be used on TikTok. You want it to be used on YouTube Shorts and Spotify and all these other things. And that's great, but then you got to look. This is the problem, and the problem isn't the companies. It's capitalism, because now the more popular the song. And again, we've talked, the more popular something gets, the more money comes into those apps, right? But then they got to start paying you more. And they don't want to pay you more than they have to pay you.
Gee, and what did Netflix start doing? Just canceling shows when they got really popular? I mean, come on. Look, it's all around us.
You can see their metrics. Yes, you can have their metrics, right?
Yep.
Spotify gives you their metrics. But how much of that is really your metric? Because you need to find more on the back end.
Because there's one thing that I can look at, and it's like click here for excruciating detail. And you look and you're like, this doesn't make any sense because this one song was played like 5 times and I made $2.70 from that. This other song was played 572 times and I made $1 from that. That doesn't make any sense. Does it? Because I got 5 streams during a peak. What the fuck are you talking about? No, it doesn't make any sense. I guarantee you within a year, Spotify is going to start... they're gonna have to start charging like more to get on the platform, or they're gonna have to.
So there's another layer to this as well. UMG also alleges that TikTok attempted to intimidate it by selectively removing the music of certain of our developing artists while keeping audience-driven global stars.
Sure.
Whatever,
dude.
I mean, I don't know, but I don't know about shadow banning. I don't know if there is true thing. I think there is.
What's shadow banning?
Where your posts are limited and people can't see your posts, but you don't know why. Yes, that exists.
I got shadow banned yesterday by Twitter because I got you
promoted your own music?
Yes. I was trying. Okay, so lately I've been trying to be a lot more positive and more collaborative, like with the other people on Twitter that are in my timeline and in my community, you know? And it's a lot better than doing politics and shouting at everybody. It's fucking irritating, right? But the thing is so I know that every time I like a post, that makes it more visible to somebody else that might not have seen it, right? Every like helps. The more likes you get.
It's all about engagement,
The more responses you get, reposts, all that shit, right? So I try to respond and like as many posts from the people that I like as much as I can. And it was like, well, that's unusual activity for you because you're usually a fucking dick. So the fact that you're being real positive and stuff, like, is just like, that's weird.
We don't like you because you're a liberal.
Yeah, I don't like you being like reposting stuff of people you don't really know just because you're a good guy
hippie.
And you just want to share the love.
You want to get back on Twitter?
Sure.
$1 million, bitch.
That's your fee.
Fuck.
You know, that was a missed opportunity. When we talked about Echo's budget,
I'm not gonna lie. I have thought about buying the blue check, and I'm really sad. I'm sad that
don't do it because I will make fun of you.
I'm sad that I've thought of it
because you're gonna get it, and you're just gonna be like,
I get what I paid for.
I got what I paid
Good.
for.
I was gonna say you better fucking use that one.
You're like, oh, I'm so smart.
Brilliant.
Yeah. All right, Tyler. It's that time. It's that time.
Long. Ah, fuck. Fuck.
It's a long box.
Yeah.
Did you say it was okay if I did MacGruber?
Father, is it okay? I want to go. Did I go first last time?
Yeah.
Fine then. Talk about MacGruber, you jerk.
You were gonna call me a bitch.
Oh, you guilty as charged.
I'm guilty as charged. Let's talk about Walk Hard instead. No. So lately I've been working on music. I got a single coming out on the 24th. I got another song coming out on Monday, which is a
collaboration. My podcast,
which is a collaboration between me and another guy I met on Twitter, which is pretty cool. But fuck you, asshole.
Why'd you say it like that?
Because you're a dick. You're being a dick. Anyway, but I've been doing my music stuff so much lately that I haven't had time to watch anything other than I got Max back, and all I've been doing is rewatching Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Funny Farm's out there.
Fucking what else the fuck is there to watch? I don't see anything else but Aqua Teen Hunger. I did rewatch Dune yesterday. Both versions. The David Lynch version, and I had a long day. But I want to talk about I've talked about Aqua Teen Hunger Force during the long box, haven't I?
Yeah.
I've never talked about MacGruber. We talked about the show.
I've never actually seen that show.
You
It's on
never
Pe-
watched
it's on
the Peacock
right?
show?
Yeah.
It was okay. I was so hyped up, and then when I finally watched it, I was like,
I liked MacGruber, the movie.
so one of my favorite things is when my internet goes out intermittently, and it's like, well, fuck, I just made breakfast. I don't really have time. I got an appointment at 10, so I'm just gonna have to plug in my my Blu-ray player and put something in. And the first thing I saw was MacGruber, so I popped it in this morning and I watched it while I had breakfast. And it's great because there's a way that you can do the unrated version,
Okay.
which is great because it's got all the the humping and pumping and shit, the funny shit, the
Yeah.
really really funny shit when he's
Yeah.
it's funny as shit,
That movie,
dude.
so fucking insane, but so funny.
So like from the get go, it's just perfect because you see like the first like scene is out in the desert, and these guys, it looks like an action movie. You're like, oh, you expect Tom Cruise to come around any moment, but of course you're watching this. So Val Kilmer comes out, and his name is
Kunth.
Dude,
Dude, Val Kilmer is fucking great in this movie.
he is a sport and a half, dude. I at one point they put makeup on him to make him look like he had no dick, so he could open his pants at the end. Remember?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just there's something really special about Jorma Taccone and
could you tell the guys that made
Will-
Hot Rod made this?
and Will what is his name? God damn it, the guy who's in the movie, Will Forte. There's something special going on in those guys' heads when they get together. And it mostly involves hobbling around with a celery stalk up your butt.
That's great.
Yeah.
I was just thinking of that moment.
There's a deleted scene where Jorma Taccone, who directed the movie, actually does it on scene. Or no, Ryan Felipe does it at one point.
They do it together.
Yeah. It's sexy.
Well, he does it later in the movie.
It's sexy.
to save MacGruber, but
Um,
that sex scene was ridiculous, and then
It's
they
so
topped
funny,
it with
dude.
another even more ridiculous sex scene where he's fucking the ghost of his dead wife.
Kristen Wiig is so fucking underrated in this movie. Yeah, she's so underrated in this movie because when he first gets to her at the beginning, when he's getting the team back together and whatnot, and she's practicing like her songs.
my God.
Two is one, and he says, he's like, what are you doing today? And she's like, oh, I got this going on. And he's like, well, I'm getting the team back together. And she just she turns on her keyboard and she plays a little thing. And she goes, it can wait. Like it's so understated. Like she kicks ass in this movie. She's really funny.
I'm a virgin. Not for long.
Never.
What a movie. The fucking scene where he fucking he goes to a party, takes his fucking 8-track or just a CD player.
Yeah, no, it's
out
the
of
Blaupunkt, dude.
just out of his car. Hey, you can't park here, and he just fucking flips the guy off. I gave him an upper decker. That's shit. It's when you shit in the back part of the toilet.
It's one of those movies where the main guy is just so oblivious to everything, and he thinks it's like it's literally like 80s action movies on steroids.
It's Will Forte playing to his strength. Will Forte is great at playing a fucking doofus, and
It's an 80s action movie with the lead being just a complete clueless fuck, but he thinks he's like whatever, and it's great. It works so good. The part where he accidentally blows up his team. Oh fuck!
Yeah, it's all a bunch of
Anybody here? Anybody?
it's all fucking WWE wrestlers.
Yes.
When he meets Chris Jericho in this movie, and he goes,
What about the dude?
When
Is
he
it the
talks about-
Undertaker who kisses another dude and he's like, is it
can't
the Undertaker?
remember. I can't remember. But the one with Chris Jericho is when he talks about his dick. He's
Yeah.
like, I walk around with his anaconda in my pants.
Yeah.
I love it when you make dick jokes.
They're fun to say. I love to laugh at them.
Yeah, they're fun to do.
fun to
They're
laugh
fun
at.
to hear.
They're fun to
Or
hear.
I love to say them. I love to listen. It's like, what am I watching?
Yes.
It's one of the, again. Is it any surprise that it was like a guy from the Lonely Island, the guys that did fucking Hot Rod? Like, is it any surprise that they worked
That
on that
fucking
movie?
movie is so good too.
Yeah,
But yeah,
and
it's
he's
just
fucking-
it's just so classic.
And then he uses
Tell me
Ryan
what you
Phillippe.
want me to fuck.
yeah.
Oh fuck it. I'll suck your dick.
You didn't have to swear as much. Well, it was a real fucking asshole of the day. There were some great fucking dudes, and it was a real fucking asshole of a day. I love that movie.
It's really, really good. I highly recommend it
It's
if you've
just,
never seen it.
If you love absurd humor and
It's good absurdist humor, and it makes it.
when he uses Ryan Felipe as a fucking human shield, he's like, "Oh, you had a bulletproof vest on."
Of course,
I knew that.
Yeah.
Or when they're talking,
He's
underrated joke when they're laughing and he's trying to be genuine. He's shut your butt. Like what? Even he can't even do conversation right. It's good shit.
Yeah, I love it. So
my long box.
But again, I will get back to some more like actual shit that's like, what?
My long box is pornography. No, I'm kidding.
Nice. Which side do you prefer?
Just all of it. Just porn.
That's cool.
No, it's The Traitors, which is a reality game show.
What the fuck?
Here's the thing. It's a murder mystery show.
What's it on?
Peacock.
Okay.
But here's why.
Traitors?
The Traitors.
I thought Traders. I have Peacock. I have seen.
That's pretty good.
I have seen the ads for it.
It's a simulate. It's basically, and there's like there's like the U.S. version and a UK version.
Of course.
Australian
bullshit.
Fuck the Australians. You can join Utah.
Fuck anything that. Yeah, you know what? Anything that ain't American.
Or all the other 49 states. Just
fucking fuck you.
No, you're okay.
Yeah.
Utah, who sucks.
Fuck you. I'm waiting to say fuck you, so just tell me when to say it, okay?
Okay.
Fuck you.
No, not now. What are we talking about?
You're talking about the Traitors.
I know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
The reason I love it is, okay, I'm a sucker for a murder mystery. And essentially what the game show is a simulated murder mystery.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you have two players. You have the traitors and you have the faithful.
Mm.
The traitors know, eventually it starts with one and then it progresses as the game goes along. If they can't pick out the traitors, they keep adding more. And, so the three traitors know each other.
Okay.
Or however many there are. They know each other. So then they start devising plans of people to murder. Now,
Do you know who they are?
Yes, the viewer knows who they are right away. So that's what's so fun about watching this show is because the best thing about the show is, one, Alan Cummings fucking commits to this show. He's got this real thick, like, Scottish accent, and it's like he's very theatric, and like, get out of my castle. And he's like very, like, he has these weird, crazy outfits on. And
there's a American Dad joke. Roger, he's like, I once had an opportunity to take acid at the Tony Awards, but then I was sitting next to Alan Cummings and I got scared.
He's great in this,
Yeah,
and
I like him.
he really makes the show
The
fun.
original Nightcrawler, dude.
But so what happens is, like, they have team challenges and they got these things they got to do, and then when it comes to time, the traitors can murder someone, and then out of whoever's left, they don't obviously kill people, they just get them off the show. But, like, you can have certain things, like, like Survivor has, like, the immunity thing. Well, you have, like, this show, it's called Shields, where somebody tries to murder you, you have an immunity because you have the shield, and then you could be like, oh, I know who did it, or something like that. Because one of the players had a shield, told, like, 3 people, and that's it, that he had the shield, so then he can kind of pick out the traitors, and, like, that's going on while the traitors are plotting something else, and you get really sucked into the meta of the game, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, this is a weird show, but I like it. Because I'm sitting there, and when it comes down to an elimination, it's a round table, and it's just shit-talking, because you're trying to be like, you're a fucking traitor. No, I'm not. You are.
No,
this
I am
person
not.
is. And then, and in this point of the show, they still have yet to figure out who the fucking traitors are, and it was really frustrating in this last episode that I watched, because I knew who the traitor was. Like 3 or 4 of the people knew who the traitor was, but they all voted out a different person who wasn't a traitor.
Mm-hmm.
And then the people that knew that the one guy was the traitor were like, good job. You fucked us. Because the traitors can take the money.
Dicks.
Yeah. It's good shit. I enjoy it.
What did
Recommend
I say?
it.
What did I say about your dog about 10 minutes before the show's over? Being like,
Yeah.
it's time to go out again. God damn it, you
It
guys have
ain't
been.
time for nothing.
Okay.
Tyler, it's that time.
It's that time.
It's that time.
Time to bust a rhyme. Nah, G. Time to suck a lime? Nah,
Whoa,
G.
we got a Ben Shapiro in the studio.
It's time for the mother joke of the day.
Check out the facts.
Yeah,
That was him, but it definitely sounded like they did some pitch correction.
like, can you make my voice sound more like I've got more testicles?
Can you please lower my voice?
Can you please make me sound like I got more testicles? How many testicles do you want, Mr. Shapiro? 7. I don't think our testicle meter goes beyond 5. Well,
What about 5,
I
though?
guess we'll have to buy more than one, won't we? Because I want a 7 testicle voice.
That's your octave. That's how you know. Like Morgan Freeman, that's 7 nuts.
Dude, Freddie Mercury? He
Would
had
that be less?
17 testicles.
Wouldn't
Because
it be less, though?
his range was huge.
It's all about what's hanging down there, I guess.
I guess. I don't know. I've only got 2.
Me too.
I got great range for 2.
Pretty happy with the 2 that I have.
And this concludes another episode of Talking About My Nuts. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.